Hello guys, welcome back. Alright, so today I'm going to show you my 10 million run video, which is coming out a bit later than I wanted to. So actually since then I've been able to run a 12 million run. But I still think it's worth it to show you that now so that you can have a better benchmark depending on where you want to get, and that will give you a better idea of what you have to do to get there. And without further ado, let's get into the run. And we're going to start with Jabba, the Jabba team, so the 4-man version on which I made a video. You can do it with 3-man as well without Krayt, but the advantage of having him is that it has basically no RNG to it. You can get it consistently and you don't have to remote. You just have to make sure Jabba is fast and has a decent amount of health. Boba has a decent amount of offense, and then just speed on bush and you should be fine. Most should be displayed on the screen now and you will see, yeah, I don't have the best ones, but it's enough for this run. So you have two possible strategies for this. You can either go for 2 ults with Jabba, but for that you necessarily have to remote, or you can go for 1 ult and a big rocket with Boba, which is what I'm going for here. So I'm going to try to get Krayt back. You don't have to do it, but if you manage to, it's a lot easier. So you have to remove 40 stacks of Defiance, and for that you have 3 things. You have the Ballista, that removes 30 stacks. You have the AoE of Boba, which can apply ability blocks up to twice, removing up to 14 stacks. And then you have the basic of Jabba, which puts blind and removes 4 stacks every time he does. So all of that can be resisted, aside from the Ballista, so you have some bit of RNG here. If you don't get Krayt back, it's fine, but I prefer to get him back if I can, so I'm going to try to do that now. I'm probably going to go for the basic. Yeah, it got resisted. That's alright. Ballista with bush now. Oh, I guess I can do it on the next turn. Basic again. This time it didn't get resisted. AoE, 25 stacks, and now I can Ballista to get Krayt back. Yeah, okay, so I did a mistake here. Bush should have been the one to use the Ballista, but yeah, we got Krayt back. He's gonna speed again, go on the ground. And I have about half the damage done now, almost half the damage. So it's on track. As you can see, I have the ult now. Ulting now would be pointless. He has protection up, so I'm going to keep it. And yeah, if you want to go for double ult, you have to ult for the first time before he burrows. If you ult after he comes back up, you're not going to be able to do it again later in the run. So at this point, I'm locked on the single ult run, which means I should keep it for the end. Because if I ult now, he's going to boost the damage of the dragon, and he will kill me too soon. Right. So we're just planting bombs and doing damage. There we go, he's back up. Now Krayt is going to again taunt again. Trying to make sure he gets swallowed. So here I'm not going to ult, right? I want to wait a little bit later. And here I try to go for the strategy I use in the 3-man run, which is to make sure that Boba gets a crit. So at this point I use the special one from Jabba, which gives whatever the name of his buff is on everyone. And when that buff expires or gets dispelled, you gain advantage, and that guarantees Boba to crit on the rocket. So yeah, we got the buff here. Now the dragon is about to spit and dispel the buff. And now you can see, well, it's kind of complicated to see. Yeah, now that Krayt is gone, you should see it. Right here, Boba has advantage. And here I made a mistake. I should have basic the dragon. Dragon has crit immunity, so I cannot crit, which means I get to keep advantage. And here instead, I went for the basic on the bomb, which was really stupid because by doing that, I got a crit on the bomb. And that, right here, crit, and now advantage on Boba, unfortunately, is gone, which means the rocket is not going to crit anymore. So that was a bit of a mistake. I still get 2.7 just barely, but yeah. So now I'm going to basic, waiting for the ult until the very last time, right? So as to not boost too much the dragon's damage. Basic with bush, here I'm just trying to get all the damage I can. Now I'm going to ult, because dragon is about to go. 2.36, so I need 340k damage. And rocket, 331, because he didn't crit. A crit would have been more than twice as much, which would have put me over 2.7. He didn't get to crit, but that's fine because now bush is going to basic. She has advantage still from getting higher muscle dispelled, I just remember the name. And now the basic is going to crit, and with defense penetration up, that's going to give me the damage I need to get to 2.7 for the max damage of the first team. Alright, so yeah, it was a little bit messy, but I got it, and first try, no remote, so very, very consistent team. And speaking of consistency, we're going to move on to the second run, which is the Mandalorians. I made a video on this one as well, and it is by far and large the most consistent team in the raid, even more so than Hut Cattle. every run plays out exactly the same, and if you respect the modding that I'm going to show on the screen, you can get max damage first time every time. There is absolutely no RNG involved in that run. So armor needs to be first and go. Again, I made a video on that. If you want to check it out, it's the second half of the video. First half is tier 4, which has some RNG to it, but on tier 5 and above, no RNG at all. That is because, as you can see, Bam gains momentum whenever you apply dot on the boss. That gives him turn meter and allows him to move at the right time. And on top of giving him additional damage. Basically, he gets all the Tusken bonuses from tier 5 and tier 6. Alright, so now Maul is gonna go AoE. And here with Kandros, we just want to basic a bomb. Preparing the bomb for being blown up right after the dragon splits to get rid of the debuffs. So yeah, don't AoE with him, right? You want Bam to go into burst before the dragon goes. So if you AoE, that's going to make Maul go, and then Maul is going to go before Bam, and that's not good. You want Maul to go after Bam to charge the burst. So just basic here. Now we go into burst. And again, Bam was able to go into burst before the dragon because of the dot supply that gave him momentum and turn meter, thanks to him being a Tusken. Well, he's a hero unit, so he's a Tusken or Republic. He got all the bonuses. Alright, now Bam is gonna go 5 hits, which is going to charge the burst. So you do that on the assist of Bam. He doesn't assist while he's in his distance, but still it's worth doing that. Right, 4 and 5, now we're gonna AoE. Look at that, now we have 1 stack of bomb here, 3 and 3. So now we're just gonna basic here. We don't want to blow this one up yet. We're gonna wait for the dragon to split. Alright, now Bo-Katan is gonna go and basic the bomb to blow it up and get rid of all the debuffs. Now Bam is going to go, 20 bursts, so it's gonna be 20 instances of damage on the dragon plus 1 on each of the side bombs. And by the way, look at the damage. He was at 540. We were at 550k damage. Now we have 889, so 300k damage by Bam right here. Alright, now Kandros is about to go. So here we want to keep both bombs at 1. So we're just gonna basic with him. It's very important to have 2 bombs at once, at 1 stack each, and you will see why. Now we get swallowed. Armor gives Beskar to Maul, and now Maul goes, and here he has 2 stacks, which we're going to spend, 1 and 2. And now look at that, the AoE is going to dispatch the buffs here, and kill the 2 bombs at the same time. Because of that, boom, it goes back to 5. That's what it does. If you blow 2 bombs at the same time with Maul, you go back to 5. And you can abuse that to keep being at 5, and you don't have to be as scared to use his stacks because you can get them back very quickly. I'm going to use Ballista to get Bam back, and here I could replant, but because I'm on tier 6, both of these abilities have a 0% 0 speed, and Bam is the only one that can reduce the cooldown of the ability, so it's better to replant with Bam, because he gets more bonuses from doing that. So we're just going to basic with her here. Now we replant with Bam. Dragon's going to split again, and then he will burrow. And now here we want to prepare the bomb for Maul for the next time. So it's very important that they go down at the same time. Fortunately, we have a lot of AoEs. He has an AoE, Maul has an AoE, she has an AoE, and both Kandros and Armor deal damage twice on their basic. She hits twice and he hits 1 and then once again. So you can use both of the basics to bring each of the side bomb to 3 at the same pace, right? So now this one is to 3 and this one is at 3 as well. Now Maul is gonna start unloading, and here you don't have to be afraid of wasting your damage, right? Because it just goes into the protection up. But it's better to do that than to go for the bombs, because you can get back to 5 very quickly. So we deal the damage with protection up by dealing damage right away instead of blowing up bombs. Now he's back, Kandros is gonna basic, and now Bam is gonna be able to go back into bursts soon, yeah, on the next turn. Alright, so more counters, he's at 3 stacks. Here we're gonna basic. So now you can see that the bombs are at 2 stacks, we want them to be at 1 before Maul goes again, so that he can go back to 5 after blowing them. Now I could have AoE'd with him, but his basic applies dots, which gives momentum, hence turn meter to Bam, so it's better to basic with him and use Bo-Katan's AoE. Which I'm going to do now. Now both bombs are at 1. Second armor shrine of the dragon. Basic again, we don't want to blow the bombs. Now we go into birds, and here we go, 1, 2, and look at the turn meter of Bam, keeps going up thanks to all the dots applied by Kandros. And that will allow him to go before the dragon. 5 to go back to 5 stacks. Basic. And now look at the damage, 1.97 million. I need 2.7 and 20 birds with 37 stacks of momentum. And he just did 700k damage. That's why you need him bodied with a high offense. That's how you do it. Because right now the only part of RNG of the run would be coming up at this moment, which is the swallow. Dragon Spit applies buff immunity and then swallows. That means that he removes the taunt and bam, and he can eat anyone. If Maul gets eaten, you have to restart. But with this strategy, you finish before he can even eat someone for the second time. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Lycandrus is gonna finish this with 2 basics. And the dragon, 2k damage were dealt with the dots, so got kind of a weird finish. Where he died while swallowing someone, but yeah. And here, as you can see, he swallowed Maul, so if I didn't finish before then, I would have had to restart. So yeah. And that's the second 2.7 of this video. And now we're moving on to the third one, which is going to be the Tuskens. This one has a bit more RNG to it. Now, keep in mind this was done before they patched the Tuskens last week. So now Tuskens are actually more consistent because they properly gain tenacity with each stack of momentum, which allows them, once they are at 20 stacks of momentum or higher, to basically resist all the debuffs from the spit, which they do not in this video, so that makes it a little more complicated. But yeah, Tuskens are... there's a lot of RNG involved in whether or not you apply dots, who gets targeted by the dragon, and so on. So I think you can get 2.7 consistently, but there is not a single way to do it every time. You have to adapt to what happens in the run. And here is actually a really good example because I got really bad RNG. So I modded my chieftain to be slower than in the last video. If you check the modding against my videos that I made on the Tuskens, you will see some differences. Chieftain was faster and he's slower. I think it's better because he can dispel all the debuffs instantly. I also remodded Warrior to have full offense. I had potency last time, and it is better because he actually deals a lot of damage on the ballista if he has decent amount of momentum. So offense on this guy is better. The other should have the same mods as before. Alright, so we do that. Now special 1, always special 1 is Warrior, never special 2. Special 1 gives momentum to everyone, which gives you turn meter as per the bonus of the raid. Special with the chieftain, with Warrior to gain turn meter on everyone. Basic with the Warrior, it applies dots, which applies momentum, which gives you turn meter. So basically the only time you should hit the bombs are with this guy basic or this guy basic. Everything else should go on the dragon, because this guy's basic applies a dot, which gives you 10 meter. Same for the Warrior. Warrior, when she uses special 1, she gives momentum to everyone and dispels the buff on the target. Chieftain special is important to use as well. It reduces the cooldown of your team, which means that you get to use this guy's special more often, which gives full turn meter to the whole team. So yeah, always target the dragon. Just don't target him with this guy's basic or this guy's basic because they don't do a lot. And that's how you can work a little bit on the bombs. Right, and here you have actually some RNG. If the dragon chooses, you don't have a taunt. If the dragon swallows Warrior, just restart. You need Warrior to be here because she dispels on her special, and you need to dispel that tenacity up as soon as possible so that you can keep reapplying dots on the dragon. And second part of RNG is who the dragon chooses to target. Chieftain lead, when the dragon targets someone, makes them take a bonus turn and lose all momentum. So if the dragon keeps targeting your Warrior, you're never going to get to use big ballista because he keeps losing all his momentum. And here it keeps happening in this run, which is not ideal because like here 232k to 272k, 40k damage is nothing. You can get 700k damage with ballista if you have high momentum, but if you keep losing it, it's not going to happen. So yeah, you have to adapt and play around. It's still doable as you will see, but you have to do some adaptation. Alright, so here I'm trying to get the raider back as soon as I can. Special 1 to dispel the daze and reduce my cooldowns. Now special 1 with her to get rid of the tenacity up so that I can apply dots again. Alright, special here to give turn meter. And I'm gonna wait to do the ballista with Warrior because he's modded for offense, so he will get more damage out of it. And you will see, last time I did 40k, right? Now look at that. That was 300k damage, so much better. Another spit. So spit debuffed my whole team, but now, after the patch, it wouldn't have debuffed anyone. So that would make it easier. On the next video, you will see. Alright, so special 1 on the bomb here. I was blinded, so I couldn't special 1 the dragon, otherwise I would have. My basic on the bomb, I'm blinded as well, so nothing else I can do. Basic to get rid of all the debuffs. Special 1 to reduce my cooldowns. Big ballista here. Look at that, 350k damage. Most of the protection up is gone now. And yeah, don't be afraid to use ballista on the dragon. Just like Mandalorians, you cannot replant bombs often, so you have to use alternative solutions like this one. Special 1 with the warrior to gain momentum on my team. Basic to apply a dot, and there we go, dragon is back up. Special 1, and by the way, Raider also does a lot of damage. 150k damage that was about. So yeah, always use his assist on the dragon because it can really boost your damage to get to where you want to be in time. 48 stacks of momentum, and here is a bit, this point is a bit tricky. You might be tempted to use a big ballista now, but if you get above 2 million damage too early in the run, the dragon is gonna murder you. So it might be better to actually delay your big hit until a bit later. And here, again, he basics a warrior, and boom, all my stacks of momentum are gone, which means all my damage is gone. So that was really unfortunate, but I'm at 50% exactly of the damage, and 50% of the enrage. So that's fine, I'll just take my time. I'm going to wait. You don't have to rush this team. In this situation, if I had high momentum, I would have used the ballista and try to finish it early, but since I'm low on momentum, I'm just gonna wait. As you can see, I'm just hitting bombs to avoid boosting the damage of the dragon too much for now, while I build up my momentum back. Alright, special 1, basic. Targeting the dragon. Well, got unlucky, I got an assist from this guy, so no dots for me. Basic for more dots, special 1, and Euro assisted. Again, that's not lucky, because no one put any more dot for momentum. Ballista here, I think. Oh no, yeah, maybe it's better to wait. Yeah, actually it was better to wait, because if I went for the ballista, it would not have dealt enough damage, and dragon would have killed me on the split. So yeah, now he's gonna swallow. Second RNG, if warrior gets swallowed, again, you got it. You have to restart because you need someone to get rid of the tenacity up on the dragon. Alright, so I'm gonna basic here on the bomb to get rid of all the debuffs. Special 1 probably. Maybe basic at this point. Special 1. Alright, so ballista. First ballista. Okay, now I can finally get rid of the tenacity up. Basic, and I'm gonna wait for this guy to do the ballista again. Basic. And 2.1 million to 2.5. So I got 340k damage on the dragon right here. And I only had 20 stacks of momentum. With 40 stacks, I actually would have won the run right here and then. Alright, so this run really goes all the way to the end, but with big ballistas, it's fine. I will get it to go back up and then finish it off right before he finishes me off. Big ballista, boom, he's back up, 400k damage on this ballista. Call some assists. 2.62, 2.65, so I just need 50k damage and I have another ballista coming up with this guy, and now he's finally at the proper setup. And so even though I just need 50k more damage, I'm actually going to get something like, yeah, 600k damage on the last ballista. So I went way overboard, but of course I'm capped at 2.7. And so that's another max run damage for the Tuskens. So 3 times 2.7, that means right now I'm at 8.1 million damage total. So I just need another 2 million to get to the damage cap announced in the video, in the title of the video. Okay, so time for Old Republic. I haven't made a guide on this team yet. I haven't actually figured out the best exact way to run it, but I'm getting a hang of it, so I will make a video at some point. So in my very first video that I made, I was running Mission and Zalbar instead of Juhani and Shorty. So here I'm showing you the other option. Both of them get 1.2 million. We just have a slight change in the strategy, in that Raven is modded for offense here instead of being modded for speed, and Raven will be the main carry of this team. So the idea of the strategy is the same. Call as many assists as you can early on in the run to build up your damage, but don't go overboard with the damage. Try to cap it at... So with Mission, I was capping it at 400k damage. Anything higher than that and the second speed would kill Mission. Here, because Raven is a little bit tankier, he also has Savior, he can be revived with Jolly, you can be a little less careful. You can go up to 500k damage, something like that. But try not to go over that until the second speed is gone. And then basically you get all the damage done at once, so that you can kill the dragon before he kills you. And Shorty is actually pretty nice in that she has an AoE that deals damage 3 times to everyone, so she can blow up the bombs very, very quickly, very nicely, to get the dragon back up in a timely manner. So I was talking while the run was playing, but basically, yeah, just keep calling Raven to assist, call a lot of assists, swap if you need to get rid of the debuffs, and as you can see here, I'm gonna AoE with her, 3 stacks on all bombs, and boom, all the bombs got blown up, and dragon is about to get back up, so that's really, really nice. If you need to get someone back from being swallowed, use Bastila's special one, it applies stun. Mark also applies stun with Raven. And then you have the Ballista, so between those 3 abilities you should be able to get Juhani back consistently. And you should also be able to get her to be swallowed consistently because she can taunt. So that removes some of the RNG that you can get. If Raven gets swallowed, it will be bad, for example. Alright, so 400k damage right now, and speed is 1 turn away. Yeah, and something else for the modding, really try to mod Raven for high crit chance if you can. Getting a crit with him is big between dealing a lot of damage and not dealing enough damage, so yeah, it's very important. Here I didn't call him to assist with Bastila because he's about to split and remove all the buffs. So if I use a special one, I would have lost instantly the events up that it provides. Now, I'm almost at 600k damage, that was a bit risky. You will see that the split does a lot of damage here, but it's fine. Savior has not been triggered yet, and now it's time to deal damage. Right, so Juhani with her special one can remove all buffs on the team as well, so she has a team cleanse, which is really cool and useful. Now, basic, swap with Bastila, who has a special one available. And here you will see some crazy crits with Raven, 140k now. And now here, this is very important, you need Battle Meditation on him, it gives him additional potency. So you need to have Bastila move before he does, so that you can have more chance to apply turn meter reduction with the mark. And applying it here is very, very important, because you reduce the turn meter, which means you get a couple extra hits before Dragon goes again and starts killing your team. And that makes the difference between a maxed run and a run that ends up 200k short of being maxed. So mark, and yeah, we got the turn meter reduction here. Another crit by Raven. Call him to assist. Another crit again. Just gonna basic here. Basic with her as well. Basic again. Boom, another crit, 900k damage. And now Savior just got triggered. As you can see, the dragon is starting to hit really, really bad. But something nice is that Raven, with his swap, gains foresight, so he can actually dodge a basic of the dragon. If he didn't dodge, he would have died here, so that's nice that he did. I call him to assist again. 160k now. Swap with her, probably. 1.06 million. I'm trying to get Juhani back here. I don't think I should. It doesn't really matter if I get her back, but I'm just going for it. 1.157, and here an AoE from Shorty should do what I'm missing to finish. Right, there we go, 1.2 million. So that's the third maxed out run, the fourth maxed out run of this video, and I'm at now 9.3 million damage total. I just need 700,000 more damage to max out the team, and that's going to be with Jawas. Now Jawas, yeah, I'm not a big fan of them, but at least they're quick to run. Modding wise, I just have a lot of speed and potency on the engineer, and then a bunch of offense on the others, pretty much. Difference between a 700k damage and a 900k damage is whether or not you get some lucky crits in there. And there is some RNG as well on who gets followed first. Dragon, most of the time, is going to go for Nebit. Sometimes he goes for Engineer. I got good runs with either of them being followed first, so I don't think it really matters. But the run takes like 1 minute, 2 minutes total. So yeah, it's very quick to do. There's nothing you can do basically. You can't get anyone back when they are swallowed. You just have to punch the dragon and hope for the best. Yeah, modding for offense helps a little bit. I tried without remodding, I got about half of the damage I get here, so it does matter to mod them for offense, but you can get super high either way. So here I'm just trying to get him to go back up. There we go. 300k damage now. Gonna taunt with Nebit. So keeping Nebit is actually good in that when he taunts, he reduces the cooldown of the others. So you get to do more AoEs, so that can be somewhat helpful. Okay, basic here. A replant, I guess. Yeah, here I don't know why he didn't go for damage on dragon. Maybe I was afraid he would kill me at the next bit. I don't think it was really necessary or warranted. As you can see, I'm pretty far from dying anyway. But yeah, AoE again. You have the ballista. Using the ballista on the support can be good. I think I do it in this run. Right here, maybe. Yeah, I'm hesitating. Yeah, ballista can do. Yeah, 300k damage. So yeah, using the ballista near the end of the run can be good to get a little more damage, but overall you're always going to end between 700k and 900k damage at full Relic 5. Okay, mass assist here with Nebit. AoE, I can AoE because someone is swallowed, so he's not gonna gain 10 meter from all the bombs blowing up. Basic with Nebit, and then I will probably lose. I just got over 900k, now he's gonna burrow, but I cannot get him to unburrow before he kills me. Yeah, and that's the end of it. So a quick run of 907k damage. It is what it is, but that puts me at a total of 10.2 million damage. And yeah, so that's how I got there, which is the last. There is just one more box at 12.15 million damage after that on the personal reward track. So yeah, that's what it takes to get to 10 million with just 5 teams. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And I will be back later this week with a new video of me doing 12 million damage with 5 teams. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.